stop everything and listen carefully. Because what you are about to hear does not fit the old rules of motorcycling. It breaks expectations, it challenges tradition, and it hits the Harley-Davidson legacy. Like a thunderbolt that nobody saw coming, Harley-Davidson has always been the symbol of massive engines, heavy iron loud exhaust notes, and motorcycles that dominate the road with pure presence. But in 2026, the brand has done something so unexpected that even hardcore Harley fans had to pause and question reality. The name itself sounds dangerous to traditional thinking. The 2026 Harley-Davidson CRTT 250, a machine that instantly ignites controversy, excitement, disbelief, and curiosity all at the same time for years. People said Harley-Davidson would never touch the 250cc segment, that it was too small, too soft, too far away from the brand's DNA. But history has a funny way of proving doubters wrong. This is not Harley going small. This is Harley going strategic, calculated, and fearless, stepping into a battlefield dominated by lightweight machines and announcing its presence without asking for permission. The 2026 Harley-Davidson CRTT 250 feels like a calculated disruption, a machine created not to please everyone, but to force the motorcycle world to rethink everything it thought it knew about Harley-Davidson. This motorcycle carries the weight of legacy on a lighter frame, and that contrast alone makes it intimidating, because it proves that confidence does not depend on size but on intent. Harley-Davidson stepping into this segment is not an accident. It is a response to a changing world where riders demand agility, efficiency, and relevance without sacrificing identity. The CRTT 250 feels like it was born from pressure from competition, and from the realization that evolution is no longer optional. This bike speaks directly to riders who want control instead of excess, precision instead of brute force, and freedom without unnecessary burden. There is a sharpness to the idea of this motorcycle, a sense that it was designed for tight spaces, fast reactions, and constant motion. The aggressive appeal of the CRTT 250 comes from its refusal to apologize for existing. Even when critics question its place in the Harley lineup, this machine feels like a challenge, thrown at both competitors and loyalists, daring them to accept that the brand is bigger than its past. Harley-Davidson has always represented rebellion, and the CRTT 250 expresses rebellion in a modern form, quieter but more strategic. This motorcycle feels engineered for riders who live on the road daily, not just those who chase open highways once in a while. The CRTT 250 represents accessibility without weakness, a balance that few brands manage to achieve without losing credibility. There is an undeniable tension around this bike, because it sits between tradition and transformation, refusing to fully belong to either side. The presence of a lightweight Harley changes the conversation, making the brand feel closer, more reachable, and more dangerous to competitors. This motorcycle feels like a long-term investment, a seed planted for future generations of riders, who will grow into the brand naturally. The CRTT 250 does not scream for attention, it commands it through confidence and calculated design. Harley-Davidson choosing this direction shows awareness, not desperation, a brand reading the future instead of running from it. This bike feels designed for global streets, not just iconic highways, and that shift alone signals a major transformation. The CRTT 250 carries the idea that freedom should be practical, repeatable, and available every single day. This motorcycle challenges the belief that heritage brands must stay locked in old formulas to survive. If accepted, the CRTT 250 could redefine what entry-level power means, when backed by legendary identity, and if resisted, it will still stand as proof that Harley-Davidson was bold enough to challenge itself before the world did. The CRTT 250 feels like a direct message to the world that Harley-Davidson is no longer chained to old formulas, no longer limited by outdated expectations, and no longer afraid to shock its own fanbase. From the very idea alone, this motorcycle has already become one of the most talked about names of 2026, because nobody expected Harley to enter this space with such confidence and aggression. This bike represents a shift in mindset, a realization that the future of motorcycling is not only about size, but about accessibility, versatility, and global relevance. The 2026 CRTT 250 looks compact, but it doesn't look weak, it looks sharp, tight, muscular, and ready to attack city streets with the same attitude Harley brings to open highways. There is something intimidating about a small Harley that knows exactly what it is, because it doesn't need to prove itself with displacement. It proves itself with presence. This motorcycle feels designed for riders who want Harley attitude, without Harley intimidation. A machine that invites new riders while still demanding respect. The shock factor is massive, Because Harley-Davidson is not just entering a new segment, it is rewriting its own story in real time. The CRTT 250 feels like a gateway, a first taste of Harley. For riders who were previously locked out by weight, price, or fear, at the same time it feels like a rebellion against the idea that Harley bikes are only for a specific age group or riding style. This machine speaks to cities, to night rides, to tight roads, and to riders who want freedom without excess. The aggressive excitement around the CRTT 250 is driven by the thought that Harley is finally adapting to a world that demands efficiency without sacrificing character. Even the idea of how this bike might sound excites riders, because everyone wonders how Harley will inject its signature tone into a smaller engine. This is where tradition meets modern engineering, where heritage collides with future ambition. The CRTT 250 is not trying to replace big Harleys. It is trying to expand the empire. It opens doors to global markets, to younger riders, and to daily riders who want Harley style without Harley bulk. On Ride Radar, this motorcycle stands out as one of the boldest Harley decisions in decades. This bike proves that legends don't survive by standing still. They survive by evolving aggressively. The CRTT 250 feels like a warning shot to competitors who thought Harley would never challenge them in this category. It carries the attitude of a heavyweight in a lightweight body, and that contradiction is exactly what makes it dangerous. This motorcycle represents confidence, not compromise, a brand saying it can dominate any segment it chooses. Whether riders love it or hate it, one thing is already clear. The 2026 Harley-Davidson CRTT 250 cannot be ignored. It has already succeeded in doing what every great motorcycle should do: make people talk, argue, and dream. On Ride Radar, we see this bike as a turning point, a moment where Harley-Davidson proves it still knows how to shock the world. And if this machine delivers on the road the way it delivers on imagination, then the CRTT 250 will not just be a motorcycle. It will be a statement that the future of Harley has officially begun.